All right, friends, we're live. Ernie here. It is Thursday, May 21st. And this video is a little bit different from my others. Some may argue that all my videos are different. But no, this one is different. This is more of sort of a wake-up call. You know, I've been doing studying about Bitcoin and trying my best to come around to it and, you know, embrace it. But I keep on coming back to this one thing. This one thing that everybody is claiming is its one virtue, and that is its decentralization. That it's not owned by anybody. That is driven into your head over and over and over and over again. And that theme is so familiar to me. These ideas that are, at their very surface, nonsensical. Sure, they are backed up by what uninitiated, uneducated people might see as science. It's mathematical. It can't be false. It is the great savior. We don't have to trust anybody. Just trust in the algorithm. Just think. Think for yourself. How insane that sounds. We no longer have to trust other people, other humans. Humanity is irrelevant. Just trust the algorithm. That is the basic premise behind Bitcoin, to trust the algorithm. It is a mechanism of trust based on mathematics. They'll give you all these theories like the Byzantine general's theorem of why, by employing that type of strategy, that it is impossible to ever defeat Bitcoin, to overcome it, to take it over, to subvert it. To subvert it. Yet this constant droning of this idea is in of itself a type of ideological subversion. I don't know if that word means anything to you. And all the things that are going on with us today, including this pandemic, what has led up to it, this ultimate crisis. And now we are being conditioned to accept it as the new normal. We're supposed to walk around with these masks. I got myself a new one. It's my new mask. Don't cough on me. The only reason why I wear them is so that people won't peg me as being some sort of social pariah, some outcast. But that's going to be the new normal. Social distancing. Don't touch people. Don't ever shake their hand. Don't trust them. And you think that Bitcoin is freedom. I want you to take a look at this chart and tell me that Bitcoin is freedom. What I want you to notice here, excuse me, this is the global ranking for hash rate of Bitcoin by country. And I want you to notice something very, very pressing here. That China has 65% of all the hash rate, is generating 65% of all the hash rate in the world. A little over 65%, with Russia at about 7% and Iran at about 4%. So combined, those three tyrannical dictatorships the axis of evil on this planet, I don't see how anybody can deny these things, represent 60%, I'm sorry, 76%, actually more than 76% of all the hash rate on this planet. They are responsible. These three tyrannical countries, who are in more ways than one buddies with each other, simpatico, controlling Bitcoin. I want you also to consider that China and Russia really hasn't changed since the Soviet days. You may think it has. It is this their own new normalization. But China certainly hasn't. They're taking over the reins of their long-term strategy to defeat us, to defeat not just us, but to defeat the globe, to become the ultimate globalists. That is their goal. That is their undying, wavering need. And they do it through a plan of ideological subversion. This is a generational, maybe even a centennial plan. It might not take quite that long, but at least a few generations, where they first worked on demoralizing us, subverting our culture, doing everything they can to turn one person against the other, and then destabilizing it. And then finally this crisis. A crisis beyond all crises. They stuck in there one of the answers, one of their tools. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the great savior from the centralized banks. Being run by the three greatest tyrannical threats on the globe who want to take over the globe. Yeah, it all sounds so wacky, huh? It's a conspiracy theory. Yet now we are in the fourth stage of ideological subversion, and that's normalization. We are just now coming out of a crisis, and we are asked to accept it as the new normal. This new normal of not trusting your neighbor. Don't touch them. Don't do business with them. Trust the algorithm. Trust that great thing out there. That decentralized thing. It's actually that globalized thing. But we know better. I mean, that chart that I just showed you, how can you deny that? This is all part of their plan, is to put objective evidence right in front of your face. You can see it. You can see what the Chinese do to their own people, what they have done to the rest of the world. Now, I got to be careful here. The CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, I put this chart of hash rate in front of you, showing you clearly China, Russia. We can put Venezuela in there. They're a minor part, but Iran controlling the vast majority of the hash rate, clearly outstripping the ideal of the Byzantine general's dilemma or problem. They are controlling. They make Bitcoin totally centralized. You think that Bitcoin is your savior. Bitcoin is not your savior. Free enterprise and face-to-face dealing with your fellow man, that is the only savior, saving grace on this planet. The ideals of individualism, where the individual is the ultimate authority. That is the saving grace. And that goes against everything that our culture has been subverted to believe. This is where we're at. It's up to you. It is up to you to decide whether or not you're going to accept this as our fate. That is all.